how to get rich as an author. You do not get rich selling books. You get rich creating solutions to problems. Focus on one person with one problem and create products that lead to profit. Okay? It's a really simple formula. Person with problem, product offers promise. Person with problem purchases product that offers promise, leads to profit for you and the promised land for them. They no longer have that problem. Your product actually has to work, okay? If it doesn't work, you're going to have a lot of refunds. If it doesn't work, you're going to have a ruined reputation online. So how do you actually do this? How do you get rich as an author? And by rich, I mean 6 figures plus, okay? Because the average author makes like $0. They might make less than $1,000 a year. So how do you become a 6-figure author or even a 7-figure author? Well, option A is to sell a lot of books. But in reality, you're only going to make $1 or $2 per book. Even in the best of circumstances that you've self-published. I mean, the way to make the most amount of money through book sales is that you self-publish, so you keep 100% of your royalties. You charge a lot for that book, and you have very low cost of fulfillment. But even in that situation, you're selling a book for like maybe $18. If you're still selling through Amazon, they take 42%. You got to print the book. So that's going to be another 30 to 40%, which means there's only going to be about 20% profit margin left on that book. So an $18 book is going to generate $3.60 of net income. Now, the effort required to sell one book and make $3.60 compared to the effort required to sell a $100 course that has nearly 95% profit margin. Okay, when I create a course, I create it one time and I can sell it over and over and over again. About a year and a half, I spent, I'd say, a total of 4 business days creating a course called the Hope Story Method. The Hope Story Method walks you through the 5 steps of writing a book. So I walk you through step by step your XYZ statement, your transformational tale, your detailed chapter outline, your model chapter, and your full manuscript. Those are the 5 steps. And I walk through all those steps on video, and it took me about a half a day to script it out, a day and a half to film it, and then a day and a half to edit it and post it. So about 4 business days. Literally, you can create a course between Monday and Friday. And we started selling that course. We've had it at different price points. I was doing introductory level, usually about $397, and I said it's 60% off because regular price is $997. Then we had it at $997 for a while, and then we can run little flash sales. Sometimes the flash sales were as amazing as like $197 or $297. And one time, even when we published our 55th book, we did a special, a $55 special that included the Hope Story Method. Okay, it's my content. I can do whatever I want with it. Right? There's this parable in the Bible that Jesus talks about people that came to work for somebody, and they had people that came in the morning. They worked all day, and then you had some people that came at lunchtime, and they worked the rest of the day, and some people that just worked like the last hour of the day. And at the end of the day, the farmer in this case, right, the business owner in this case, paid everybody, and he paid everybody the same. You know who complained? The people that were working all day. Like, that's not fair. So wait a second. And the parable, like literally Jesus says, it's up to me. It's up to me as the owner. It's up to me as the business owner how much I pay people. Our deal, person working all day, was that you get paid this amount. So did I keep my end of the deal? Yes, I did. So of course, I can do whatever I want. That is fair, which I think is really culturally shocking. In other words, it's okay to offer discounts. It's okay to charge more for different versions of your content. So what you do is you take your content and you create multiple modalities. You're focused on one problem. That's why I think a book is the most incredible business asset you can possibly create. And for most people, if you haven't built a significant social media following, a podcast, and a speaking career, start with the book. Start with the book. See, traditional publishers are looking for the podcast, the significant social media following, and the speaking career, and then they will invest in your book. They're looking for a platform before they'll publish you. But I actually teach the opposite. Publish first, get clear on your framework, and once you're clear on your framework, you create it in a book that sells for $18, okay? You're not going to get rich on $18 books because the profit margin just isn't there. But what you can then do is then you can offer a course that goes even deeper with specific examples. You can offer a membership where you interview other people who talk about similar topics like we've done in Hope Writers. In Hope Writers for 10 years, we just interview our friends every Tuesday and they share what's working for them. And we take all that content, put it in a member library and charge a monthly fee. We have made millions and millions of dollars from Hope Writers just by weekly interviewing our friends. Like that's amazing and crazy because we're offering value. So having a book, having an online course, we've done this as well with Hope Writers, where we take a piece of content, for example, like how to create multiple streams of income. And we created a course called the Writer's Income Guide. And this one actually cost me, I think, about $12,000 to create. We rented this small church in Encinitas, California, the same one, Joy in the House of the Lord by Phil Wickham, where he films that music video. That's where we filmed our course called the Writer's Income Guide, which is kind of cool. And we did a mastermind in Encinitas in San Diego area back in 2021. It was 2021. And then that was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We wrapped up Saturday at noon, and we already had the rental fee from the church. We already paid for the church to have it. I think we had until 5. So literally we wrap up at noon. I had the scripts ready to go. We had a film crew that was all scheduled. They did a great job. And they came in at 12 o'clock. We took a break for lunch from 12 to 1. And literally from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock for 4 hours, I filmed all the content in the Writer's Income Guide. And we paid, I think it was a total like $12,000 to film it and edit and everything like that. But once we did all that, it was done. And then we sold it, same model. I think we sold it for like $100 or $297. I was doing the 97, $297. We sold like a couple hundred of them, which is great. We made our money back, which is awesome. I think the first time I launched it, we made like $22,000 and we basically made like a 10K profit. Then we had an asset called the Writer's Income Guide. And I've gone on to sell that thing over and over again. Still super valuable. It walks you through the 15 income streams you can create as an author, like online courses and coaching and community and conferences and all sorts of things. I walk you through all that in the Writer's Income Guide. And that Writer's Income Guide, this online course, has generated multi-six figures. This 4-hour course that we took 4 hours to film, probably 8 hours to write the scripts, and we paid somebody, but they probably took 4 or 5 days to actually edit it. So like a full week of work has literally generated over $100,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars of actual revenue. And even more than that, it solved a real problem. That's the point, right? The way that authors get rich is that you solve a problem. And I'm specifically speaking to you if you're watching this and you're a 55-year-old mom who wants to write your story and is writing about trusting in God. This is most of the books that we work on through Hope Writers and Hope Books is what I would call an A to Z vanilla book. And I'm not meaning to offend, but I am leaning in a little bit for coaching. Okay, most books that I hear about from like the 55-year-old mom kind of community is I just want to write my story. I just want to write something about God and about my faith, and that's awesome. Way to go, girl. I'm proud of you. But here's the thing: if you're giving A to Z the whole life story, and you're talking about something as big as trusting in God, your product, your book, which is a product, is going to be vanilla. It's going to taste the same as everybody else's. And the problem with that is it doesn't solve a specific problem. There's no way that a vanilla book can become the go-to resource for one person with one problem. Instead, it becomes about you, and it's for people that you know. And you know what? If it's about you and for people that you know, then it's like a memoir, and that's okay. But you won't ever sell more than maybe 100 copies unless you're like a fantastic writer. It's very rare that that happens. My wife read a book called The Glass Castle a couple of weeks ago, and it sounds like it was kind of one of those vanilla books. It's like about somebody's life, but her life is so crazy, and the story is so crazy that it went on to get made into a movie and sold a million copies. But that is very, very rare. What's not rare is when you focus on one person with one problem, offering one promise through multiple products, but one promise through multiple products, that leads to profit. So the same kind of message, that vanilla A to Z, I'm going to help you with everything in your life. I trust God. Here's my journey. Instead, you specifically talk about one thing. Here's how I improve the sexual intimacy in my marriage. Whoa, did Brian just go there? Right? Here's how I dealt with my daughter's suicide attempt. Oh my goodness, did you really go there? Yeah. Don't bury the suicide attempt in chapter 6 and talk about it for 3 paragraphs. Make the whole book. This is for moms who have a teenage daughter who attempted suicide. This is the whole book. Become the person. I would even say the prophet. Become the prophet who speaks this message, because that's what it means, right? Speaking a message into the future. You are the prophet. You are the person speaking this message for one person with a problem, and you're offering one promise through multiple products. So yes, look, smile on my face. Come on. This is a hard topic. It's hard to smile when you're talking about a hard topic. If you said, one of the hardest moments of my life was when I discovered my daughter had just attempted to kill herself, but her heart was still beating. That's like the first sentence of your book. You can have a book about that. What's your story? Tell your story in the book. We want to hear your story. But then we want to know the path from the prison to the promised land. We want to know, what did you do? What did you do next? What action did you take? Is your daughter still alive now? Oh, and then it turns out, hey, actually, she's married. She's got 3 kids. She's thriving in her career. She rededicated her life to the Lord. She's amazing. And you bury that at the end of chapter 9 for like one sentence. Wait a second. That's your whole message. Dedicate your entire life, at least for 3 years, maybe for 10, to that one message. And then here's what happens. Your book's not vanilla anymore. Your book is like pistachio or rocky road. Like your book is like, butter pecan. Like most people don't like it, but the people that like it love it. Do you get it? Most people don't like it, but the people that like it love it. You write your book about your teenage daughter's suicide attempt and how you forgave yourself. What? That's an interesting angle, right? How we stayed married even though we lost our daughter. Oh my goodness. Because there's people that lose their daughter and then they get divorced. That's an interesting angle. What's your slant? My old editor, Stephanie Smith, when I worked with her at Zondervan, she said, you've got to really focus on your slant. You got this message, but what's your angle? What's your unique hook? That's the way that you see the world. And I think she used even quoting Emily Dickinson and that kind of idea. Like, what's your slant on the world? So the way to get rich as an author is focus on one person with one problem. Now you're probably going, Brian, how can you go from something so tender as like your teenage daughter's suicide attempt to profit and riches and stuff like that? Listen, this is the way God created the world, right? God set up the world in a way that you can only reap what you sow. And the more that you sow, the more that you provide value, the more value you'll receive in exchange. If you become the best in the world at helping Moms who have a teenage daughter who have attempted suicide, and you talk about it on stage, you get paid for that. You create a course, you get paid for that. You create a membership community with a monthly fee, you get paid for that. You create a book that you try to give away for free, maybe free plus shipping, and that leads to the course. You still get paid for that. You get paid as a coach or as a consultant. You get paid for that. You get paid by helping people's pain go away. People pay for the pain to go away. So lean into the pain. Literally lean into the pain. Lean into the infidelity. Lean into the suicide attempts. Lean into the anorexia, bulimia, fat shame, like whatever the thing is. I mean, we're really going there, friend. Yes, friend, we're really going there. Lean into the bankruptcy. Lean into the regret that you never told your dad how you really felt. And then he died. And you now have a message for other women to say, listen, before your dad dies, forgive him. Write the letter. Not even for him, but for you. Because you don't know how much time you have. Be a prophet. Be a message from their future to help them live a better present. You'll get rich in the process. 6 figures, 7 figures, it's totally possible. If you need help, we can help you. This is what I've been doing for 11 years full time. For over a decade, helping authors just like you get clear on your product, on your process, on your problem, on the promise you offer, so that you can make a profit and make a huge impact.